for
Nsem-Pii will honor more, now Nsem so it is. Utie, now share on my YouTube channel.
Be the first to know Nsem-Pii TV.
A free say Supreme Court Emma orders on 17th May say Papa your friend James Quayson Quayson and holding himself as a member of parliament. I generate a lot of news, I generate a whole lot of things. By NDC among your corner, anytime you're about Sebiano, as usual, they go by the propaganda way. Now, one NDC cadre, another one NDC personnel, always be an even though or party in bet or barbontian or becano cray, nor did the else no credit or the tono. Papa your friend Fuseini, a lawyer Fuseini. If we say NDC among your corner or Lucy 2020 elections, I went to my MPB or Tenchain. Bagbin Assembly by national discourse, I'll be free. Papa your friend Fuseini say on final gentre emetuja both as a lawyer and as a politician or kind of cray among say asema papa ne kano devoid of any propaganda, devoid of any bitterness, devoid of any he's speaking from the actual truth. Papa no recently what betuja say Sami Demfi bantane electoral commission there na ekoso no air force because Sami Demfi enimpa say emra higher than adwin. Inti toda Sami Demfi nyai propaganda semno nto nje no nka the refa because electoral commission the omo allow such as opokumbe contest asen of right. Now when another issue so about Supreme Court ama ruling say Parliament in Quayson di emfree in kratem no mfankoto baby omunyi free Parliament in kratem kra Bagbin so on tesa asem na say amo oni NDC MPs na wan say omsa betwe krata akwa Supreme Court. The Supreme Court enchre omu how they should remove Quayson name from parliamentary record. And a lawyer Useless-Inusah as abontia old schooly Bagbin NDC MPs massa mo lawyers sometimes deal with the law. Even in parliament, you don't have the right to write a letter to Supreme Court, say Supreme Court should tell you what to do. No, you are wrong in law. Nsem-Pii Fuseini.
The ruling, no. First of all, as a lawyer, the Supreme Court was jurisdiction. And the jurisdiction is circumscribed by the Constitution. The interpretation and enforcement of the law. When there is a matter of whether or not something is a state secret, you have to go to the Supreme Court for the Supreme Court to assess the information before you can either order the restriction of the information for public consumption or the information to be released. And all the appellate jurisdictions, the Supreme Court will, including the concurrent jurisdiction with the High Court in the enforcement of human rights. The Supreme Court any speculative jurisdiction and any advisory jurisdiction. And you have to look at the Supreme Court in that light. Supreme Court, Nefa or the pronouncing a year, any judge in Echo Court and the Electoral Commission. So the parties to the seat, Nefa, Judge Quayson, Electoral Commission. The plaintiff, in that case, or invoking the original jurisdiction of the Supreme Court to interpret Article 94 2A. The Supreme Court interprets, almost say, come the Judge Quayson officially the nomination between the 5th and the 9th of October 2020. Not only certificate of renunciation from the Canadian authorities, which is conclusive. Actually, say what now say in this time no on this certificate no. Now almost the kind at this time ran to where in the Senator case when Niashi challenged the Senator say on your registered voter and see ultimately contested in the Clote constituency primaries. The court must say, oh no, you can't even say that now because electoral commission and BA registration for voters and were qualified to be registered as a voter. So the proper time to determine whether ultimate contested and ultimate contested is when the Electoral Commission opens the registration. Now one register, and that time is the nomination period. Into almost these case actually a ruling against the Quayson. In the release, so Electoral Commission, in the first day, Electoral Commission, I did the almost year, no. Every say, almost challenging that Quayson in the filing of the nomination in a thing of no, before elections, no, or before the filing of nominations, no, or the Electoral call Electoral Commission for her. Now, Electoral Commission, no, almost say, oh, every say, what started the process? I check. Now, almost almost say, oh, renunciation, yes, at the level of the certificate, they were satisfied, were renounced into on play. So, in fact, no, I did the Electoral Commission, wrong, because the decision in the Senator say, so you're filing nominations now only crafted the HSA, were renounced, when you qualify. In the Supreme Court, AG2, that argument. It can say, Electoral Commission, I did the allowing the Quayson to contest. Only, I mean, at that time, that only certificate of renunciation or active unconstitutionally. Almost say the election of the Quayson, a void, a null and void, an unconstitutional null and void, and of no legal effect. Any Supreme Court, I mean, the Electoral Commission accepting to let the Quayson contest the 2020 elections without the certificate of renunciation, evidence of certificate of renunciation was unconstitutional. But Oman Jira no more invoking Article 2:2.
Baby, me no lawyer boss or no me here clarification kakrano. Lawyer now can say Supreme Court own to me and direct Parliament what to do, and answer exactly what were you saying?
Now Parliament enya a party to the suit. Parliament enya a party to the suit. Supreme Court is any advisory jurisdiction. And on what basis did they direct Parliament to expunge the name of that Quayson? On what basis? Now, Supreme Court.
So, me both lawyer Boameka say that directive should have gone to EC rather.
If you have gone to EC, the parties, they have gone to EC, or say, consequential order, they should have advised the parties or in fact the plaintiff to bring in Parliament. So the Parliament becomes a party to the suit. Now, Omar Yeta, the advocating case between the parties. They direct a third party to give effect to the order. In my view, needs our jurisdiction. In my view, needs our jurisdiction. So that is why the order is difficult. Yes, a Supreme Court order, but Supreme Court order should not be in a vacuum. Should be directed at the parties. And yet to say the Indian Supreme Court. The Indian Supreme Court has that power in the Constitution. Yes, needs our power. Yes, Supreme Court and needs our power. That's number one. Number two, there were three arms of government: the judiciary, the executive, and the legislature. Another arm of government. And all the arms of government are limited in the performance of their functions by the Constitution. And the Constitution has more power to do what you have done now. Directing a third party, which is not a party to the suit, to comply with your order, it becomes problematic. Jurisprudentially, legally, it becomes a problem. that will also flout the principle of separation of powers. Supreme Court power over Parliament is in the exercise of Parliament's power to make law. So if the law made by Parliament, in the view of the Supreme Court, is unconstitutional, the Supreme Court can direct. Or if Parliament conducts itself in such a way as to violate the principles or the provisions of the Constitution, the Supreme Court can say, you have violated the Constitution. But in the absence of that, in my view, the Supreme Court cannot direct Parliament to do anything. That's what they call the political question. That's number three. Who can say? I don't know. But if you read the constitutional history of Britain, once upon a time there was one William the Orange, or Nsem-Pii, the British constitutional order, or still as King of Britain, head of Britain. Now, Britain, after some time, Omochino tried him and hanged him because of that unconstitutional act. But the court did not say that consequence upon the unconstitutional usurpation should be expunged. Court say, even though he was there illegally, unconstitutionally, but as king, to be saved. 4. Parliament is a historical institution. So, in 50 years' time, in 100 years' time, the Parliament the record should reflect. Say, once upon a time, there was a man called Quayson who contested elections, whose elections was declared null and void. But that Quayson participated in parliamentary elections. And this was what he said before his election was declared null and void. You see, you're expunging. You want to say that there was no Quayson in parliament and the consequences of that could die. Because Quayson, all parliament, or you never be brave. What happens to the status of Adedia Oyen?
It could be died. Can you say be a watching a binu Jaji Quayson and now Obin Subetimi I take this matter upset and maybe nipa be by Jaji Quayson our parliament at a point to free ho where ye juma wajia ketua enti see ye yini dear free mudia na secretary waji any bibia and so no. Either say a financial loss to the state, will be better to take that matter up and as a saint in a person or say ABI, the consequence no will be died.
I won't say financial loss. I will say that we'll be better for cost. They will see your exporting records from records from Parliament. It's just a Katia, the OG, he was otherwise not entitled to it. And see, all the family. Oh, that question was never even a member of Parliament by the Supreme Court decision. And see, also participated here in the election of the Speaker. And the Speaker, he was not properly elected. And he wants from a new election.